What's up, y'all? It's KingBritneyChanel, and I'm back with another video. So, y'all, it has came across, my DMs or my news desk, whatever you want to call it, that Asri basically put out a post that she misses Joy, okay? And that's going to be the question of this video. Do y'all feel that Asri or Az really misses Joy, or is this a ploy? Before I get started and get into my commentary on this, definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any time I release a video. And I hope y'all enjoy my commentary on this. So let's get into the honey for today's tea. If you're new to this channel, the honey for the tea represents Yahweh, our Elohim's truth and his promises, and how we could apply those things to everyday life, okay? Because sometimes, life situations be a bit unpleasant, and we need to look at the bright side of some things. We need a little positivity to, put a pep in our step, okay? So let's talk about the situation that we've been talking about, okay? And that's K. K has been trending. Y'all know this is the biggest celeb story in ever, okay, with this whole situation. He has been sensationalized, and it just, like I said, this story reminds me of a never-ending telenovela. It's like on the next episode of who else is next to tell their story on K. That's how I feel regarding this, y'all. But anyway, I want to ask y'all, since Az has, made a public post to where she basically said she misses Joy, do you feel in your heart, okay, that she really misses Joy? Or do some of y'all feel like this is a ploy? So whatever your thoughts are while I'm, giving my commentary, leave it in the comment section below, or just let me know what your thoughts are. Now, before we get into what her post was, let us not forget the facts, okay? The facts are that she did put out a track that was a cover to Meg Thee Stallion's song. Y'all know that song. That's, Meg is calling herself a bee and all of that other stuff. So she did a cover to that. And the first thing that she said was, I'm going to show you how to do a real savage, right? And then if he cheating on me with a blank, then she got to be average, right? So who was she talking about? The next lyric that really stuck out to me was her saying, you sitting there with something you don't even love. So that lyric right there had me side-eyeing. Then when she said at the condo in the Shy, we talking about Az, that, in order to make up another person great, something that she said, or in order to be great, you got to make another person great. And then, mind you, was she making Joy great by sending her to the lockup during that condo situation at K's condo, with that whole scuffle, the cat scuffle at the Shy, okay? So she said she went there to supposedly help, and it ended up with Joy looking a certain type of way, and Joy ended up with a mug and all kind of stuff. And it seemed to me that the issue at hand there was that Kay did not, wife her or Asri like he probably could have promised her. Who knows? I definitely feel like it could have been some maybe manipulation on Kay's part, but I definitely feel that Az is also a little bit manipulative herself, because she busts out crying sometimes. Sometimes she, one day she'll tell this story, the next day it'll flip to something else. So I have to be honest with that. Now I do feel that she has gone through some things. I'm not going to take that from her. I feel like, she's a beautiful young lady, and she has been through some things in life, and due to, her environment and maybe some circumstances that happened in her life, this is why this whole situation ended up the way that it has ended up, okay? I'm just being honest about that. Like, we cannot act like it hasn't been some discrepancies going on. But also, it just seems like, from day one, she has constantly portrayed herself as the favorite, as the wifey, as just like she had a little bit more leverage than Joy. Like, every time you hear her, they asked her why she left, and I left because he was using Joy and all this other stuff. And it's just like, so what is Joy? Like, what do you feel like Joy is? Do you feel like she's not a valuable person? Because honestly, at a certain point, you're going to have to ask, like, what's your angle with that? You feel me? So it was an article, y'all, that was put on the blast that talked about, as this post that she put out, y'all. And remember, the question is, do y'all feel like Az really misses Joy, or do y'all think that she is putting this out maybe for attention? Do you think that she could be a little bit concerned that maybe Kay is, might be let out and he might go to live at that supposed new condo with Joy that she has in the Shy? And it's been a lot of people like, oh, now Joy is number one, why would she want to leave that position? But I feel like a lot of people have been trying to diss Joy. But what I was saying, y'all, is they never like to mention, they always try to diss Joy, but they never mention that if everything that what they were saying is true and a certain person was the favorite and Joy just wasn't on no type of time, then why would Kay have not gotten rid of her? In this whole situation, would it have gotten to this point? Now, he could have just been arrogant, but obviously, from certain things that was revealed, he kind of had like love for who he had love for and affection for who he had affection for. You feel me? So if it was all how it, was, or people was, painting the picture to be, then why was it that when the opportunity presented itself, or when she tried to, I guess, force his hand to be like, okay, get rid of Joy. Oh, he was using Joy and that's why I left. Why didn't he make that decision to do so? If it was all of that, you have to ask these questions. I feel like a lot of people, they kind of just like repeat or parrot different information, or they kind of go with the narrative that certain people want us to believe. But I think, like, if he really wasn't feeling Joy to the point that people say, then why is she still there? Why did he not throw her back when, if you think about it, Joy's people had got the media attention on this whole situation. So if anything, her parents was the one that was bringing him or bringing attention to his situation, I'll say. So if anything, wouldn't he have just been like, girl, you got to go about your business? Come on now. It's definitely a lot of questions and a lot of interesting things that, as time goes on, I hope, with the whole Try situation, that a lot of things become answered, So anyway, The Blast posted this article, and it says Kay's ex-girlfriend Az reaches out to singers GF Joy. Okay, and this was posted on April the 18th, 2020, and this was posted by Ryan Nauman. And basically it says that Kay's ex-girlfriend Az is sending a public message to the singer's other girlfriend, or last remaining girlfriend, Joy. And it says 23-year-old Az shared a throwback pic of her hanging with Joy. The two appear to be posing in the elevator at the condo where they used to live with Kay. And it says, back in December, Asri left the singer and moved out of his apartment. While she was moving out, Asri and Joy got into, y'all know, that little scuffle, and La Policia was issued or called. And it says that Joy, y'all know, she was taken into the lockup and that whole situation. And it's just, to me, with this whole, in my opinion, I don't really feel like she really missed Joy. I think that it could be talks of, Kay keeps trying to request to walk on out them doors, and you really gonna see if they allow that, which so far they have not. He already asked twice, but so far they have not allowed that to happen. But if in fact they ever let him walk on out them doors. I feel like Az would be definitely pressed about the situation. I feel like she was really, I would say, she did do K a little shifty. She said it herself, but I definitely feel like she would be pressed because her being a young woman, it just seems like she kind of, I don't know, like, because she said, a lot of the time she kind of reversed things. Like, it was, K lied to y'all when it was really he lied to her. And, he played me, when the whole time she was on Gail and stuff, admitting that she knew that she was in a person relationship or whatever. And then when other girls would pop up, like that girl, what's her name? Sarah from the Shaws of Sunset, she was up there telling her off, like, you ain't really, like, she basically was calling her a NUT, or y'all know what that is, and trying to make it seem like her relationship wasn't significant with Kay and he ain't really date her and all the rest of this stuff. So it seems like her story is that she's a Vic and all the stuff that happened, and then you see her constantly concerned with the other relationships that Kay has had. Y'all remember when she had her moment when she was at the condo, she was like, this in, and she had that moment to where it was like waiting to exhale type moment. So it's definitely I feel like she feel a way about other women. So I don't really know if she really missed Joy. Like, it's hard for me to believe that. But let me read to y'all the post. It says, miss you. This is when Belief had to get stitches in his paw, and I was crying in the taxi, and you were trying to comfort me. You're beautiful and strong, and one day you will remember your strength too. I know leaving was bad, but I also know you weren't yourself, because the funny Southern Belle, wing spot loving, Memphis repping Joy, I know woulda never. I love you. A man should never hold you back, and one that is happy to do so is not a real man. A man that does not allow you to have a life outside of him is not a man with genuine intentions, always missing you. It's hard for me to buy this, y'all, because all of the little things that was said and the things that, she was like, I got all these blessings and opportunities on the table, and what does Joy have? And just all that type of energy. You sitting there with something you don't even love. And it's just like, I'm not buying it, y'all. I think that this is a play for, attention, because it's not a lot of attention going on with, she came out, telling little deets about, the supposed story that she had with Kay, and people didn't seem like they was biting as much as they would have liked, probably because she was very, a little bit too vocal about certain stuff, and then it was just all the discrepancies and her lying to Gail, which is a huge level person in media. Okay, so I personally think that, people are just tired of hearing the narratives and people telling their different sides. That's why a lot of things are at a standstill. And, a lot of people have been doing little stuff to get attention with this case situation. And I think that the public and people is just over it. And a lot of people are waiting for the trying situation, because it's going to, reveal a lot of things that a lot of people have been speculating about, and it's going to give us a lot of details on this case situation. So let me see what else they're saying about this Asri situation. It says that Asri shared this message: just because you did something wrong in the past doesn't mean you can't advocate against it now. It doesn't make you a hypocrite. You grew. Don't let people use your past to invalidate your current mindset. And she is right about not allowing people to use your past. That is definitely the enemy that wants to guilt trip you by bringing up your past all the time and making it seem like it's not possible for a person to change. However, it is hypocritical when you're trying to advocate for something but you have not changed. Okay, so there's a total difference. You know, a lot of people like to spout out that self-righteous type of stuff. Only God can judge me type of rhetoric and all that other stuff, when they don't want you to get to the truth. They don't want you to touch the truth. They don't want you to get down to the bottom of things. They don't want you to uncover or unveil the truth in situations. Okay, so please keep that in mind. But she is right about the part where she's saying, don't let nobody use your past to kind of guilt trip you into not doing things that are right. And you know, people can change. Okay, there's sometimes, you know, people, they go throughout life and they have a certain mindset, like how Paul was running around doing what he was doing. I should read about how, you know, the Most High Yahweh took Saul from Saul to Paul. You feel what I'm saying? Saul had a mindset, and then when he was delivered from the mindset he had, he became Paul. So it is possible for people to change. Now here's where you gotta watch though, right? Because a lot of people, they get caught in like lies, scandal, and you know, different stuff, and they be like, well, look, and the next day they be like, look, I'm a different person. But you still have to go through, you know, if you was a hurt person and she's saying like all of this happened to her with this case situation, hurt people cannot, advocating is similar to ministry. Hurt people cannot, you know, minister to other hurt people. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like you're spreading that around. You feel what I'm saying? You have to be whole so that people could see the change. You feel me? Like the Most High in the word says, you know a man by the fruit that he bears. Okay, so it's like when it comes to advocacy, I think a lot of the times the problem that she has and the people that she keeps in company, you know, with her, they have a problem when they put something out in the public. And I feel like the reason that she's saying this is because that's, I guess, ultimately a goal that they have for her, I guess, to make her look a certain way or to make her an advocate or whatever. And the public is not widely receiving it. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have a perception of her due to how things was handled. You feel me? But I do feel like she's right. People do have the right to change. They do have the right to have a new mindset, and that people shouldn't make them feel bad about their past, because ain't nobody good but the Father. But I will say this, because you know a lot of people, they do that only God could judge me, like I said, type of rhetoric, and they don't want you to get down to the truth and the nitty gritty. You could talk about everything else, but when you start getting to the truth, that's the only thing that I can't allow you to get at. And they start to try to blame, I would say, people for questioning certain stuff, instead of being like, listen, I know I was looking a straight whatever when I said this. You feel me? I take ownership for that. I don't know, like at that point I felt like it was this, that, and the third. And you know, I'm gonna go, you know, get the support and the healing that I need. And when I come back, I'm gonna come back strong, and I'm definitely gonna be an advocate for these young women out here, because I don't want nobody to go down the same road that I went down. That's just like, you know, typically the OGs of the community that have changed their life, they don't the next day get out the situation and be like, yeah, I'm advocating to the youth about what not to do. They be like having I would say hood experiences, or you know, they maybe go do their time, and or they, whatever happens, it take them time so that they get revelation, and that they could reflect on themselves to understand, to get an understanding of where everything went wrong, or why did I get to this low place to where I allowed certain stuff to happen. You feel me? And then they go and then they do, you know, advocacy after they have that step. And I think people, they want to jump steps. They want to run before they walk. And I think that's what the public, that's why they have like the pushback that they do from the public, because a lot of the times I feel like when Az, or the company that she keeps, when they make these little statements, they always try to clap at the critics, and it's like, you have to be you regardless of the critics. Okay, if you feel strongly about something, it shouldn't matter what the people are going to say about it. But if you're trying to, I would say, capitalize off of the story in the public, you do have to be mindful to a certain extent of how certain stuff looks, because they want to say one day, it's every other day is something different. It's like, oh, I don't care what the people say, and then the next day it's like, oh, but then y'all gonna believe my story then when this happens. Listen, if you know what you went through is the truth, then that's all that matters. But you have to have an overstanding also that how everything transpired, a lot of people straight out the gate is not going to trust the story. Okay, so to a certain extent, you can't really care about what people say, because some people are K fanatics, and some people, that's all they care about is K, and they fanatics and idolaters of K. Then some people is just not buying the story because of how everything transpired. And so because of how everything looks, this is why it's the what I'm gonna call it. Dang, this pollen is thick. This is why the pushback is the way that it is. Okay, like, you cannot be upset that the public is questioning all narratives now, because it's been so many stories presented. You feel me? So to a certain extent, people gotta boss up and just do them, and just have an overstanding of what it is. Like, that's how media in the public is. And it's like, you win some, you lose some. Some people gonna rock, some people not gonna rock. And you just have to mature and understand that that's how that typically goes. You're not gonna convince everybody, and everybody is not gonna ride the wave. Okay, that's just what it is. Now, I personally feel, and this is just my opinion, I don't know what y'all's opinion is, that's why I'm asking, because everybody feels differently. I don't know if I don't really know if she misses Joy. I mean, there was a lot of things that have transpired that have me side-eyeing the situation, and a lot of stuff that I mentioned was factual. Like the whole situation, she made it seem like stuff was different that happened at that cat scuffle. The different social media posts that was presented, it's just the way it looked. It's just, that's why I feel the way I feel from the receipts and stuff that was dropped, during this whole situation and everything else. That's why I perceive it like that. You feel me? But who knows? She could miss her relationship with Kay, but I doubt Kay, after this, would ever deal with her again due to everything that, has transpired. Like, just her and her energy. Let me tell you how to do a dude real, savage. That whole type of energy and the things that transpired after that, and how people seen how she did Kay after that, I don't think that Kay, would ever trust again. Like, I mean, it was like emails and stuff like that was revealed, audio and all kind of stuff. It was a lie, y'all. It definitely was a lie. And I kind of feel, a part of me kind of feel like, she does maybe miss Kay, and then a part of me feels like maybe this is a ploy to try to get Joy to talk to her so that she could be the ops to Kay too. And then basically it's kind of like, if I can't have him or be wifey, then you can't have him either. That's how I kind of feel. I'm just saying, from everything that has transpired, I really do feel like she cared about Kay to a certain extent, but I feel like when she didn't get what she ultimately wanted from Kay, that's when she kind of flipped the script on him a little bit. And I just personally feel like also it's to try to reach out to try to get back in just a little bit, because if she could talk to Joy or get back in with some wiggle room, she could have more of a story to tell. Because as of right now, everything has been, I'm not gonna say everything, but she has told a lot. Like, she hasn't really left much nibble room. And even if she does come out with something, it's just like the story is so tainted and muddied up due to a lot of different things that came prior to this. It's like, who's gonna really bite? You feel me? I haven't really seen a lot of big media biting for this story. You feel me? Like, it's just, whoo, child, it's a lot. But ultimately, I hope, like I said, that all the young ladies that ever have come into or encountered K, that they, like I said, be prosperous, and I pray nothing but wellness, and that they go on to have healthy lives and well futures. You feel me? Because I wouldn't wish this type of situation on no young lady, like getting caught up with this whole unfortunate situation, yo. But yeah, I'm kind of like reading in between the lines with this whole thing. What are y'all's thoughts about, as kind of reaching out to Joy about this whole I miss you thing? Do y'all feel like she's sincere, or do y'all feel like, she could be on some type of ploy or game to be manipulative? Y'all leave y'all thoughts on this below. It's KingBritneyChanel. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all soon on the next video.